Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today we have a Virgo moon. The moon just slipped into Virgo a little while ago. I'm coming out a little late this morning, because I stayed up late last night. It was a dirty stay up. Not a dirty stay out, because I don't go anywhere at night. But I was actually listening to some of my favorite commentators on what was going on in Israel. I didn't miss what happened, but I hadn't been paying that close of attention to it, mainly because I knew that it was a pretty painful thing, and sometimes I can't just dive in. After the whole Ukraine, the start of the Ukraine war and how difficult that was, and I know that I'm not in the war, so it sounds a little like, well, you're not there kind of thing, but you feel it in the ethers. You feel the vibrations. You know something is coming, or something is happening. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in your field. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the aspects. Early this morning, actually when I was not sleeping, and I should have been sleeping, there was an opposition to Venus and Saturn. Venus slipped into Virgo yesterday, and then almost shortly thereafter opposed Saturn. Venus is the planet of love. She in Virgo is an energy of wanting to do the work that we need. Now, Saturn in Pisces is a lot of things, but Saturn can sometimes show where there isn't enough of something. And in Pisces, perhaps there isn't enough compassion. I'm struck that we have these different factions. In the case of Israel, we have Hamas, and then on the other side we have the Israeli military, or I guess their prime minister, Netanyahu, whatever, who's in charge, and all the rest. And then we have all the people in between that bear the brunt of this stuff, just like the Ukrainians bear the brunt of the war. I think the opposition of Saturn and Venus is a reminder where compassion is needed, right? The opposition will always activate an axis. And when you're dealing with Pisces and Virgo, it's the axis of healing. The other thing that's happening is that Pluto is stationed. It is about ready to move direct. When Pluto stations like this, there's often things that come up in the outer world, often not planned, right? Maybe people knew about it, maybe there was intimations, but not planned. In fact, the first bombing of the World Trade Center back in, I think it was 93, but I could be wrong about that date. It occurred on a station of Pluto. Wars start on stations of Pluto. Pluto is the planet of power, especially in Capricorn. And Pluto's about ready to go direct in Capricorn and move out of Capricorn into Aquarius, where it's going to be for most of next year, save for right around the election in the United States, when it dips its toe back into Capricorn for, I think it's like 2 months, or something around that, not too long, but right in September, and then it leaves about a week or so after the election, of the United States election. So we're not quite done with Pluto in Capricorn. But Pluto in Capricorn is an energy of power. And and Capricorn is the military industrial complex, right? The weapons manufacturers. It's how, really, in the case of the United States, because Pluto and Capricorn, the United States has Pluto and Capricorn, it's the wealth of the United States. Originally, the wealth of the United States came from its cotton, its whatever it produced via slave labor. So slavery kind of is an energy of Pluto and Capricorn. One of the reasons why we're hearing, as Pluto's in Capricorn, about reparations. We're hearing about slavery and the reality of slavery and the ancestral and genetic trauma that has wrought on Black people in America. And so there's this revisiting of that. And it's as if when Pluto went into Capricorn, and it's like it's the dark night of the soul for America. But it's a dark night of the soul for everyone. It's not just America. It's just America happens to have a Pluto in Capricorn, and America happens to be the most powerful country on the planet. And a lot of times America gets to make the rules and break the rules, sometimes with impunity. The bully on the block, as it was. Now, this world is full of bullies on the block. In fact, there are many bullies on the block trying to take over the block. And yet, this is the old paradigm. The new paradigm is being born. So this is an absolutely imperative time to focus on the things you want to bring into this world. And if you want to bring peace within this world, we must focus on peace. We must take action towards peace. And of course, it always starts inside. And so this is I want to say, my heart goes out, thoughts and prayers, maybe, I guess, but I don't know about you, but I'm tired of watching people suffer needlessly. And I'm tired of having a terror thing happen so people can wake up to the reality of a situation. Things in Israel have been bad for a while, and Netanyahu has a lot of responsibility towards that, because he's created an environment, an already difficult environment, and made it that much worse. So we need to look at the way we do things and how that works or not. And as far as I can tell, it's not working. And of course, now we're dealing with a nuclear power, another nuclear power, right? Israel. It's thought that Hamas is backed, and I'm sure this is true. I don't know. This is what I've heard. Hamas is backed by Iran. Iran, the country who's oppressive to its women. And then we have the people of Gaza, who are pretty much living in an open-air prison. And now Netanyahu is bombing Gaza, but to get to Hamas. But they're in tunnels, and there are people that are living there. How is this helping, right? How is this making peace? You can't make peace through force. You can only make peace through peace. And we have to come to that realization, I think. And I don't think maybe some of you, this is a sensitive subject. It would be, if I was of Jewish heritage, this would be a really hard thing for me. If I was of Arab heritage, this would be a real hard thing for me. Nobody wins in this. Nobody wins. And we're going to have to figure out how to do it differently. We have an eclipse coming at the end of the week. And it's all about war and peace, really. The eclipse, the new moon is in Libra, the sign of war and peace. And the North Node is in Aries with Eris, conjunct Eris. Eris is the in a way, Eris can be considered a terrorist because she will do things, or the energy of Eris will do things to fight against the larger purveyors of power. But when the only thing that gets people's attention, or we wake up to a reality, is violence, we're in big trouble. And we know we're in big trouble. The other thing that's happening, and it's happening early tomorrow morning, is that the sun will be opposing Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries can be the wounds of war, the wounds of aggression, the wounds of bullying, and the wounds of not being allowed autonomy over your own life. Now, we can see the wounds of bullying when we see what the Israeli military has been doing to the people of the West Bank, with taking their land, fouling their fields, burning down their olive groves. I mean, it's an awful, terrible thing. And, you know, a lot of times here in America, to talk about it, you can get, and I hate to use the word that the right-wingers use, so it's hard to say this and trying to see both sides of it, right? If you say the wrong thing, they will demonetize you. If you so you have to be so very careful about how you say it. But what I really want to say about it, it's not a blame game. It's not who's responsible for this. It's this doesn't work anymore. That's what I'm saying. And we're going to have to find another way of doing it. That's what I'm saying. All right. So I guess it was kind of astrological, and apologies to anybody I might have upset with this, because it's upsetting stuff. It's one of the reasons I couldn't sleep last night. It's upsetting stuff. But we need to have compassion, and we need to stop this ridiculousness, because the only people who really suffer from this are the innocents, the women, the children on the ground, the people just wanting to live their lives in untenable situations. Whether it's women and the men who support them in Iran, or Palestinians in their own country, or Israelis who everybody wants to kill, or Ukrainians who can't be in their fields because of bombs and mines, and you can't go to the grocery store lest Russia drop a bomb on your head. Let me say something again that I want to. This is important. This stuff doesn't stay put either. It will visit everywhere. And as technology gets more and more further along with drones and this, that, and the other thing, there's nothing really stopping it from happening in your neighborhood. And so there's never going to be a weapon that keeps you safe, because the nature of weapons is not safety. What keeps us safe is communication. What keeps us safe is agreements, is getting along with your neighbors. What keeps us safe is unity and not division. And that's the choice we have to make. So, it was a tough night. All right, guys. That was very serious, and hopefully I didn't just make you sadder. Hi, Charlie. Charlie's a good remedy, right, baby? He actually practically slept on my head last night. Probably because I was, verklempt. But, yeah, so have yourself a peaceful day, guys. Let's hold peace in our hearts, and hopefully we can vibrate the peace out to the rest of the world, because nobody wants to live like this. Nobody. Yeah, take care, everyone, and be careful out there. This is a very treacherous time on planet Earth, and peace and protection to all those who don't have it, and peace and protection for even those of us who do. Right, Charlie? Thank you, Charlie. That's exactly what we needed. Are you rolling around in that? Michael calls him Dusty Springfield because every time he comes in from outside, he's covered in sand. He loves rolling around. This is like his favorite spot to roll around. All right, I hope you all find your favorite spot to roll around. Take care, everyone. Namaste.